I cannot believe we are here as a society. We're going to allow people to pay in full on a burrito or any other like fast food thing that they choose to have delivered to their doorstep. Let me be very clear. I don't have an issue with DoorDash, okay? One of my favorite new kits that I picked up, okay? Because I said I was going to be a better women's soccer fan this year in 2025. So I have the Angel City Football Club kit, I believe from 2022 to 2023. It has palm trees on it. I absolutely positively love it. It is just amazingly designed. I have that, right? It has DoorDash across the front. Now, I'm not someone who uses DoorDash on a consistent basis. I just don't, because I have the freedom, thankfully, and the ability to just drive and go get the food that I want. That saves me money. It saves me on the ridiculous fees that you have to pay, right? But you have to pay for convenience. Are there times where convenience makes sense for me? Yes, it does. If I'm traveling and I don't feel like leaving my hotel room and it is just convenient for me to just DoorDash something there, especially when late, I will do that in a heartbeat. But you and I both know, we've spoken about this before on my channel. This is not the first time I've ever brought up pay in full or buy now, pay later being a problem. And it is a problem because so many people don't even see it as debt. Like it's considered like phantom debt. It's real debt. Like you're taking out credit. You just simply are doing it interest free, up until the point though that if you possibly miss payments, then you are putting yourself in a dangerous position. And I've spoken about this before, again, in previous videos. Let's just say, for example, there's a $200 sneaker and you really, really want it. You don't have the money for it, which really means that you shouldn't be buying it, but whatever. So you want the sneaker so badly, so it's $200, and I'm going to tie this back into sneakers a little bit later on. But you have the $200 sneaker, so it's split up into 4 payments of $50 each, right? 4 times 50, we have the 200. That's split up over 8 weeks versus just 4 weeks, which would be the credit card, which would possibly have interest if you didn't pay it off in the end. And so you get the sneaker. But let's just say you're not keeping up on the fact that you're choosing to buy now, pay later on a number of different things. You and I both know people do this. So a number of different things you want to do the buy now, pay later. So we're looking at $200 here, $100 there, $75 there. Shortly, you could possibly have like every 2 weeks, the payments are $200 every 2 weeks. I thought you didn't have the $200 to initially spend on the sneaker. So now you're possibly spending $200 every 2 weeks on a new sneaker and this new sneaker and a fit and everything else under the sun. Okay. It usually leads to poor money management that people already, that was behavior they were already exhibiting. Okay. But when it comes to the whole food thing, a lot of other commentary channels I love and watch have spoken on this. And this is why it is scary, right? Okay. So Barney McIntyre, he said, eat now, pay later, what the Klarna Doordash deal means for debt and the economy. Not a good thing, Barney. Okay. Not a good thing. I can tell you that. So if we go down, here's the part that really is getting me. Collateralized DoorDash obligations. Okay, so this is just taking it a step further of why I say this is scary. Many are moving towards securitization, packaging up the loans and selling them on to private credit investors. What happened the last time we packaged up loans? 2008. Collateralized debt obligations, CDOs, synthetic CDOs, housing crash, the Great Recession. We are headed there, apparently. I really do. This would be the thing that I think would just top it all off. Okay, how does this tie back into sneakers real fast? So, if we're talking about buy now, pay later, and my friend said I was choosing violence to pose this question, but I don't care. I choose it all the time in my videos. I don't think a lot of you would use buy now, pay later for sneakers if you had to wait to actually get the sneaker. I'll say that again. I don't think a lot of people would use buy now, pay later, meaning Affirm, Afterpay, Klarna. I think ShopPay might allow you to do pay in 4, PayPal pay in 4. I don't think a lot of people would do it if they had to actually wait to get the item. Remember old school layaway? Because I'm definitely going to show my age now at being 35 and a millennial. Remember old school layaway where your parent went in, right, and they put an initial deposit down for whatever the items were. This was usually like for Christmas or a big birthday gift or something that your parents were getting you. And so your parent went in and they paid on that layaway, and once it was paid off in full, they were then able to pick up said items from the retailer to then take home, package up, gift wrap, give to you. We were a more sound country in allowing that to be how we did things, right? It taught you delayed gratification. It taught you if you hadn't paid for something, you weren't going to get it. Now, I know people are going to say, well, we don't do that with cars and we don't do that with homes. There's a physical asset that's tied to that. Don't pay on that car and watch what happens. Don't make your mortgage payment and watch what happens too, because a lot of people love to say, well, I own this home. You don't own it until you have the deed, and even then you own the actual home, not the land on which it sits, which is why you have property taxes for the duration of you being in that home. So anyway, I think we were better off when you needed to wait to get the item, because we have this need for instant gratification immediately. People need the dopamine hit of the got 'em, even if they can't afford the got 'em. A lot of you can't afford the got 'em. You can't. And it's okay that you possibly can't afford it. Look at my recent video where we spoke about the fact that I think a lot of people in terms of sneakerheads and creators are still out of touch, thinking that everyone is going to chase every single $200 sneaker that drops. It's very out of touch. A lot of people don't have it. Based on inflation, rising home insurance, rising property taxes, just always the cost of gas, the cost of food, inflation. A lot of people just don't have it. But they're not mature enough within themselves to not need the external validation of everything they see online and people they interact with online to pass on shoes that they really can't afford to get. So they do the buy now, pay later, because they can still get the item right now, but they're still paying for it later on. Like that poor lapse in judgment is still chasing you later on, beyond when you first got the shoe. And I know it's difficult, but I would caution you before ever using buy now, pay later for a want. A want. It's just a want. The same way people need to really weigh the decision to go, use DoorDash or something. And again, I don't think DoorDash is all bad. There are people that can certainly afford DoorDash. DoorDash is a great service for those that are not able, like me, at any point to just hop in my cart and go. People may be sick. People may be disabled. People may be in rural areas where they don't have the ability to just go and get the things that they need to get. So DoorDash can be an amazing service, okay? Just like we can get medications and so many other things delivered, I think it can be a really good service for people. When used responsibly, also, a lot of people are not using it responsibly, just like a lot of people are not buying sneakers responsibly. And that is the thing I wanted to touch on. Another funny thing that came to my mind. Can you imagine if you went on StockX, because you just had to have this sneaker because heaven forbid something pass you by, right? So you just had to have this sneaker. So you pay whatever the high is. Let's just say it's $500, right? Let's just say you paid $500 for a sneaker plus the taxes, the fees, the shipping, all that goes with it. And you did it on buy now, pay later. Can you imagine how it would feel if that sneaker then tanked and it dropped? So had you just been patient, the sneaker could have gone way lower, but you paid the $500. So you're still paying 2 months later on the sneaker. I'd be so pissed. I would be so, at least the cut, let it cut deep the one time. Let it cut deep the one time that possibly I paid for the shoe, and then maybe it goes down in price. But to have that cut happen every 2 weeks, I would personally be upset. But again, I really don't think people would continue to use buy now, pay later if they were forced to actually wait until they've made all of their payments to get the sneaker. They just wouldn't. I'm curious to hear your thoughts, so please go ahead and share them below. Somebody also said on a post, because I referenced buy now, pay later for DoorDash, and they said, that's a thing they actually allow in your country, and which, in the US, it is, because we are a very unserious country when it comes to anything making sense with money. We are so unserious. But we're not much more serious in sneakers either, because sneakerheads seem to think that Nike can pull themselves out of a hole by only focusing on more collab stock. Go ahead and check out that video. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.